I do remember Raheem.
Sick action, guys. Absolutely crazy now. Ready for the knife. Oh my goodness, Flakes. Wow. The push coming through. Stabby time. Cuckoo. The reason taking him down. Crucial. See, imagine that. Imagine having to deal with that. That'd be horrible, wouldn't it?
Well
That'd be scary.
That was quite something.
Oh yeah, let's come back to us.
Yeah,
This
bring
is
it back.
good.
I feel like we're directing the show now. We pretty much just call camera shots. Our producer
Camera
live on
4.
air, and he just
Good cook cam.
he takes us there.
Take us away. Ainsley Harriet on PC4.
Yep. John's having a great time just switching between one of the cameras too. Both our cameramen just having a good time, really, it seems.
Yeah, as you can see here, obviously Inferno. The lore of the town is obviously a small town in Germany.
I was expecting like a great knowledge bomb there, but there was nothing at all. But what there is, Jackie.
Time for the game. It's kicking off. Let's see how this one will go, though. Snods ready for the defense. The push comes through. Headshot goes the way of Jacob, executing him as this push comes in towards the B-bomb side. Imi as well, a bit of an angle. That is a sick one-tap as he comes out, does the damage, and then tucks away. Unfortunately, Connor was able to grab him just in the nick of time. Snods, though, keeps it up. That's a hat trick for the man, tearing things apart. Right now, there's the quad kill. Snods. That's not a bottle in his hands. That's a USP.
What a play coming in from Snods there. Steps up at a time and he gets Endpoint in that pistol round. He's going to be very, very surprised in the way that he can pull that one through. This is going to be him just stunning his stuff, showing us what he's got. And it is going to be that round advantage for Endpoint on the board now.
Oh, fair play. Tears things up right now. This is classic Snods as well. Always dominant with that USP in those opening rounds. Always causing a stir. And the thing is as well, you get the opening frag, you try and build a little bit of momentum, something like that goes down, rallies the rest of his teammates. He is Mr. Motivator when it comes down to this team as well. He needs to kind of be the one to try and bring things back when they're at a low point. Sparker as well, the aggression comes out, takes down Boaster with a Mag 7. You assume Endpoint are going to pick this round up, but coming in early with the Mag 7 as well, the cash bonus he is going to get from that is huge. This is good to see.
It's not just one frag though, is it? It's the second coming right up as it is going to be Jacob just to deliver himself on a plate there, ready, the perfect dish for Sparker to devour, as it is going to be crucial to just to fire off a few with the decoy, but that doesn't quite land. It's just no damage around, unprevailing from Imperial as they are struggling. Endpoint looking to run all over them. Sure, you expect this, but this is dominant. This is the perfect start. Endpoint putting on a show. Snods finds just another on towards Reason. Bit by bit, things inch further and further towards the Mag 7. Sparker looking for more as he punishes Crucial. Finds a triple kill in that round with the shotgun. Prowess on form.
I guess you could say they had 40 wiring because they just got sparked.
If there's a camera on me right now, I'd be the face of disappointment. So many options you could go there, but you went for that.
Well, you know.
Late times.
Calm
2-0.
down, mate. All right, just calm down. See how this one will actually go, though. Obviously, picking up that second round with such dominant prowess. The big factor is as well, obviously, he did get the hat trick with a Mag 7. That's a crazy amount of cash already being injected into his back pocket. Oh, barely getting away this time around as well. Jacob trying the fast hunt. The thing is, Jacob punishes himself here. He committed to a push, gets overpowered because of it. They still haven't found the frag on Sparker. He gets another kill on the board before he's eventually taken down. I mean, that is atrocious.
They're just laughing in the face at this point. The thing about Jacob as well is when he goes that far forward, when he commits that hard, he's got a line attached to him and the rest of his teammate. He is the sinking ship, the iceberg in effect, you could say, to put it more aptly, because the rest of his team, they follow him. They go for full support. He just leads them to their merry deaths.
It's true. And the buy's coming back through as well. Finally, this is the first full buy we see. Endpoint, though, they're going to play it smart. They go for the scout round. Obviously, you keep those lesser weapons to some extent out. You have the FAMAS, the 2 UMPs as well. But if they lose this round, it doesn't really matter too much overarching throughout this game, right? They can play this one as more of a scout round to get information. They also go kind of aggressive as well. Look at this banana control.
Yeah, banana control actually going to be a pretty important point. They're just sending 3 players down to this. Very committal, but at the same time, you can always fall back. You can always send that player back later over towards A, and it's exactly going to be the read here. They're going to use Snods as this quick rotator. And he's good at that. This is something he studied so much on the old Inferno. Kind of look at where he's playing right now. Nothing's really changed between the old Inferno and new Inferno. You see a peek coming from the UMP, and Max is just going to find himself that cherry and insert it on top. As he will find the frag on towards Connor. He goes for a double dip as well. He's going to use the Molotov to their advantage, but Crucial turns it back on the head and actually comes out on top as he finds the head of Imi.
Crucial. A massive frag going his way. Max trying to ward them off as well, trying to keep that aggression up. Potentially putting the seed of doubt that there is still another player stationed towards that site, because why would Max be playing so aggressive if he was the sole member? But They want to commit now. They take the aggression through. Flashbang out. Smoke being utilized as well. Jacob with the aggressive peek goes over, but unfortunately Snods, caught with his pants around his ankles, fumbling, will be executed at that point. Max still playing in the smoke though. Oh, it should have been a great play into the late round, but unfortunately Reason spots him out, leaves them in a 2 versus 4. An awkward situation to be in. They're outnumbered 2-1. Boast that elevated angle as well. An easy kill on towards SEO. Sparker at this point, probably just hold back, hold the angle. If they want to go aggressive, he'll wait and find the frags when they come towards him. But he doesn't really have any reason to actually peek aggressive and commit to this.
At the end of the day, you want to choose searching for a car to jumpstart off of, but at the end of the day, it's going to be Jacob just to reel him away. Saps him right to the very end, as it is going to be just a round on the board. An opportunity. Imperial just started all right here. But the EDP is going into the fold, of course, for Endpoint yet again. It's going to be an exciting thing to look towards. Of course, it is going to go into the arms of Snods, and let's see what he can do with it. Because it is going to be just this one AWP in the server, which could be a pretty big standpoint for Endpoint now to try and back in with that instantaneous reset, and from there, really dictate the flow of this CT site. Bear in mind, right now, this is looking very much standard Inferno. It's what we should be seeing.
It's true. More sort of basic Inferno. You slow it down a lot more. Just play sort of structured CS here. The peek comes through. Snods as well. The timing as well. Unfortunately, the flashback not going to help him out. Force the fall back, but he goes for the secondary face. Does find that frag on Reason. This is pretty good. Boaster as well, attempting to take control towards that. But look, SEO with the back of his teammate. They have this covered very easily. He should not be able to achieve anything here. He peeks out. SEO kills him. He takes down SEO. Sparker trades.
I'm loving this one from Endpoint right now. They seem to have just accounted for everything. Sure, they had a few issues with the aggression on towards B, but when they get drilled into just simple pushes revolving around just calling off areas of the map, they seem to have a really solid idea of just how to put players in the right places. Sure, if they don't hit their shots, then things crumble, but an idea is something. Well, a seed of doubt is certainly going to be implanted by Imperial, as they are going to begin to try and barrage back again towards this B site. Max has to step up for the M4 here as Crucial leading the charge. Crucial come out from Connor. They both will combine. Crucial doubling up for a second as he wipes the face clean of Ibby. Not quite going to find one through the smoke, just slowing things down somewhat. As with 35 seconds now, rolling on through on the clock, the bomb is going to go down, and time garnered for this T side.
So we'll be able to get this round in the bag. But Endpoint going through with 3 players still alive. The AWP still in the hands of Snods. Not the worst case scenario, right? Max and Nimi can work around this, and they can actually try and donate some weapons over, get a little bit of cash flow going into this round. Obviously, it's great for Imperial though, right? Because they've actually linked 2 rounds together. There's the potential for that reset effect to have come out, and then it would have been kind of awkward, but the fact they actually did link them, this is good for Imperial. Chances that they can actually try and keep this pain train going actually, and work their way through. I've just forgotten English for a second there.
Chain growling.
Keep their train going. Inferno.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, certainly. I think Imperial have been able to step up the plate. Just sneaking 2 in is actually pretty impactful for them. But I still kind of rally behind the idea that Endpoint, I do like what I'm seeing from them on their CT side. And I guess that's just the confusion almost to see a well put together CT side, because all the Infernos we've seen the past few days, you know, just today in itself really, it's been disastrous because there has been no CT side. It's been, all right, we're a pug now. Let's go play some rank S.
Honestly though, here's the thing. To sort of cast my back on. Even throughout the league, 90% of the teams we saw, in sort of FM, stuff like that, what did we see CT side-wise? It was always weak. Teams had good CT sides, but they always struggled so hard in their CT half. And this has kind of been a trait from the UK for a while. It's weird to see that it still plagues a lot of teams. Connor actually gets a huge opener though on towards Imi there as he goes for the elevated angle. We'll find the headshot, but they start to back off. They're playing it smart. They're not going to overcommit just off the back of 1 kill.
I'm hoping the fact we've talked Endpoint up means that they can try and make this CT side stick, as they are still at 3 for 2, competing for this round, but at that man disadvantage. It's something that plays on their mind as Flash is going to pop towards B. Crucial just trying to find himself a pathway out on towards this site, but Max is still going to be there to try and be that hard anchor. We saw him do this on Train just a game ago, and he's going to repeat this now on towards this B site. Does have some support coming in, of course, from Snods, the AWP, as previously mentioned, but at the end of the day, this push is all but a fake. Is that bomb? The entirety of Imperial, for the most part, they're heading up towards A long now. This could be a wraparound. An El Clasico of Inferno. If they get that pick, they can almost certainly get on towards A.
Max right now waiting with the backup of Snods as they are eager for this push to come through. They also need Snods to try and ward this off though. With a backstab coming into effect like this, they haven't detected it on their CTR. If Snods has the angle covered, as soon as he finds it, SEO and Co will be upgraded. They now are aware. This also sparks Imperial to go for the push. Max has to do so much damage here. Elevated angle in play, only finds 1 kill before he's taken down, but Snods was quick on the road trait, quick on the trigger as well as he found the kill back on towards Connor. Now SEO is close by. Can he connect the shot on towards Boast? Unfortunately, no! Leaves them in a 2 versus 1. They shortly should be able to overpower Sparker in this situation. They will get the bomb down at the nick of time. Sparker just arrives, though. Finds the headshot back on towards Poster. 1 versus 1 up against Crucial. The AK in play. Oh, but unfortunately Sparker is out in the open. Was trying to clear the angles. Expected Crucial to be up close and personal. Wasn't going to end up like that. Finds the kill. And a pause comes into effect now as well.
It was very, very early for a tactical pause. I think this certainly can't be one of that nature. It has to be technical, surely. As we are just waiting in our 7th round. And very, very close CS coming from both these teams. Endpoint, a slight concern here is that money is a bit more of a sour note for them. They don't have too much to play with. If really anything worth talking about at all, to be honest, because it's just a few $1,000s. The only real player is Sparker. So for them, what we're really looking at is not a buy. It's going to be just a little bit of Kevlar perhaps, and then some pistols.
It is tactical.
Wow.
It is a tactical pause that's actually come through. Obviously, Endpoint, I guess it makes sense.
Well played to them.
Yeah.
For going it for it. There seem to be, I think early is perhaps not the right word to use, but they are kind of jumping for it very, very quickly after a few small streaks of rounds. And I think that's maybe just down to the fact that they don't want to allow any of these teams, no matter who they are, to get going.
Well, I suppose if you look at it as well, right? The first time they lost the round was on the first 4x round for either side, like the actual gun round. And obviously, now they're getting back into a situation after this round, they're going to be back on a full buy against each other. So you take this pause now, you go, right, we lost that previous full buy, put us into an awkward situation economy-wise. We kind of had to go for a bit of mixed bag buys. Getting back into a good sort of driving seat position, as we will have money for that next full buy, what do we change? What went wrong? How do we solidify it? So it kind of makes sense in some scenarios. Obviously, it's just smart that it's being used as well. And you've got to wonder, like, with this, how much of an impact this sort of affects with, like, the coach with Google and stuff like that. If they take that step back and be like, right, what do we do here?
Well, they got 4 pauses. Why not use them? I think that's also something that's got to be said. It's not your typical standard of, you know, you just got to pause. The old Counter-Strike rules that, you know, everyone used to follow, which is, yeah, you get 1 pause, you know, that's the job done. No, they get 4. Sure, the time is very much short stints, but it's time to chat. Just got to use it wisely. Let's see if Endpoint, you know, can talk it through and get the job done. Just pistols for them in this round, as we mentioned. Not actually opting for Kevlar at all, just going for maximum efficiency in this 7th. But it is going to be that buy that we look towards, and you're 100% right to really high that point, as that is going to be exactly towards. Now it's a bit of a slideshow. Damage to be applied and a bit of pain here and there, but for the most part, Endpoint that value. Struggle to find. It's Imperial just chew on with these rifles so easy for them almost. Sparker gonna try with just 1 on towards Crucial. Well, for the most part, pretty damn clean. Core 3 AK-47s. Imperial are gonna be happy with that.
That's a really old strat they went for as well. That's really old. Basically, literally all you do is stack 3 players over towards B site. You have 2 on A, and then essentially you just peek at the same time off contact. You basically hide 1 behind like barrels, and then 2 close together, just by the close wall, up by the top of car. When they peek into you, you count it down like 3, 2, 1. You peek all at the same time, and 9 times out of 10, you actually catch them off guard and at least get a few kills on the board. That's a pretty old strat. Obviously, didn't work out as well as it can there, but interesting to see that actually being pulled out.
It's not surprising. A map where old strats can be used. It's an old map in itself, as Max is going to apply a bit of early aggression to take down Crucial. Look at Ezio right now. He's ready and waiting for someone. It's going to be an instantaneous trade, but Snods, with the AWP, chimes it on towards Jacob to bring things further and further down a dark road for Imperial now, as they have themselves one hell of a hole to dig themselves out of. Reason and Connor, the 2 players left standing. A bomb back down in towards second mid. What are they going to do here? They've got so much time, but so little firepower.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward, right? You look at things, obviously you have the AWP over on Connor, and you've got the AK on Reason. Utility-wise, they both have a Molotov each. 1 smoke, 2 flashbangs to work with. So, yeah, they can try and zone out the CTs a little bit. Towards that B-bomb site, if they know the Molotovs, you can, you know, block off a lot of the angles and try and force out the opposition. You smoke cross like that, flashbang into the site and try and do some damage, but obviously Sparker hasn't been blinded at all. The Molotovs aren't going to affect him. He's in a prime time angle. Easy kill goes through. Tries to get the follow-up frag in second. Now basically just has to stay alive as well, because Connor can't really do anything. He's the last man alive with an AWP in his hands, trapped with a bomb, with 37 seconds left to try and survive in this, with no way of slipping on towards a B-bomb site. Easy pickings for the CTs, really, if they want to hunt this.
They also just want to make sure that, as you say, Snods and Sparker doesn't fall. That's a double-up setup for them retained. That's huge for their economy, just really keeping it together. Next in that extra round as well, of course, bringing it back to 4 for 4. All in all, this is good for them. This is all win-win. Connor, it's going to fall to the hands of Imi. Extra damage to be applied. This is going to be the real testing round, though. Imperial, they go back in with a buy, of course, to get the AWP up. They could have opted for a second-class cannon, but on a T-side, we've already discussed that. Double up, T-side Inferno. Pretty much a no-go zone. So instead, they do just get the one on towards Crucial. 4 rifles, good utility. Pretty well spread on their T side. But what are they going to bring here? Are they going to bring something unique, flashy, old Inferno? Or are we going to see just another default that just allows Endpoint to pick them apart?
Snade's going down right now. Hoping to do some damage. Interesting, actually, tags going through for Imi. That was pretty cool. I don't think I've really seen that too much. You push through close up in towards App, spam through the door, and it actually transfers through into lower apartments. Look, peeks through there. That's pretty cool, actually. Smart stuff to see that played. I haven't really seen that used before, so that was interesting. Interesting to see how much damage you can actually potentially pull off with that. Obviously, if you go for an aggressive peek early, transfer a lot of damage. I mean, Crucial could have been hit quite heavy. Unfortunately, it didn't really do anything into this round, but still a cool talking point.
It's the equivalent of the Mirage short down in towards Underpass.
Yeah.
It's another funky angle and doesn't do too much, but every little bit counts. And Imi now actually going to line them up. Some execution going on as it is going to be a 2-for-2 trade. Crucial with the AWP though, takes down Snods, and what a way to berate themselves on towards this A site now as the bomb, of course, is going to go down planted for short. Mighty Max trying to come in and make a play here. Checking his corners, eventually does to shake him off guard, but perhaps a little too late as it is a 2 versus 2. The bomb ticking on away. Sparker, the smokes perfectly blocking him off, but there's going to be a gap there when that first one fades, and that's going to be where the CT side try and take advantage of them.
Yeah, and look how much utility they have here. They can do so much, especially you go for this boost play with Sparker. They're going to hear some noise, right? But they can't see what the hell's going on. You push through now off the back of it. This should be so effective for them. Unfortunately, Boaster goes big. Easy kills come through. Grabs that secondary AWP set up as well for the side of Imperial. Unfortunate. Things they couldn't really use too much of that utility for their advantage as time was ticking away. They did have the kits, but they had to react so fast. Didn't really get much information off the boost as well, which is unfortunate for them, and just walked into a blind spot there. Boaster obviously just able to attack before they can even spot him out.
For now, a round advantage swaying the side of Imperial. This one still rages onwards. Problem is, it's likely that Imperial get themselves just one more as the Pistols aren't going to be able to fight this one. It's a very uneven battle, just as expected. A bumpy road for Endpoint to walk down as they do try and fight in Banana, and they get forced back.
SEO just playing by Boiler right now. Waiting for the peaks to potentially come towards him. T's looking like they do want to go for this mid control. Just the aggressive played in. Oh, SEO with the opening headshot there on towards Reason as well as he connects that. That's pretty good so far. He is able to reposition and back off from this as well. Leaves them in a 4 versus 4s. As Imperial do start to backtrack. They're just going to tiptoe over towards that B bomb site. Go for what potentially could be a late round explosion in there. Scary factor is though, those 2 AKs are the real damage makers. As those AWPs, you can find frags over towards coils and stuff like that, but going for these long-range peaks is kind of awkward.
Trying to flail away, but it is just that, a bit of flailing, and well, sure, it's a few like jabs in the chest and such, but there's no real uppercut, there's no real actual connection. And that means the Imperial, they get the bomb down. Sure, the AWPs are still in play, and that's going to be that weak point the Pistols try and take advantage of, but at the end of the day, the rifles can still swindle them down as Boaster and Cotter. There, the Connor finds himself already one. Ezio, elevated angle, a funky spot, one that's probably not been checked. Gains himself an AWP, but can he save it?
Doesn't even want it just yet. Hungry's still trying to do more damage because he knows the economy of the T's isn't fabulous. So he peeks through, takes down Boaster, can now save that AWP. Piece 50 for close range combat. The Crucial is there. Says hello before he keeps on rolling his way through as well. And that is another round secured over on the side of Imperial.
Perk there, actually going for that second with the UMP. A little bit more money. Not much, but every little frag counts with a UMP. SMG is always so good for grinding that dollar up.
Yeah, it was interesting to see obviously what the money overall was there, but obviously they can only go for the AWP over on Snods. They have to get that out for him, and he backs off now. Just playing over by Arch, has the back of his teammate as well in Imi. Basically just going to go for sort of a bait and switch peek where they walk their way through. Snods fires the first pot shot. If they commit to it, Imi can then stab him in the back or just go for the wide face, catch him off guard. Boaster going for a spam here as well, hoping to connect if he can, but no one actually going to get tagged down at this point. Apps control is being actually given away to Imperial very early on to this round. Usually we see some form of contention. Obviously we saw the double setup between SEO and Sparker, then we saw Amy trying to go for the information play. Now though, they just sort of give it off hands-free, allow them to take control of apps. Obviously, they want to filter them later on. SEO kind of needs to play very well from pit, though, because if they sit their way out, it's going to be bad.
We've seen this a lot in UKCS, though. If you look back to a lot of the results, especially with Endpoint on their CT side, they did this against a lot of European teams too. They just banked on pit being solid.
Yeah.
It worked for them, though. in fairness to them. So that could be something we try and draw towards. As for now, we are going to keep our eyes peeled on towards those players. But one to watch is going to be crucial. He's making a whole lot of noise. Max, we certainly know where he is. The shot being missed. Max, you got to find that frag, but he didn't take a shot. Very interesting decision making there.
He kind of didn't want to commit to it if he didn't think he'd find the frag. Didn't want to give the position away. The slow rotate does come in from Snods, though. I mean, the only thing is as well, Crucial knows that they know he's there, right? Like, he took the pot shot. So this rotate is still something that's going to be on their radar, but not going out that way. Oh, Crucial struggling as well. Max that's taken down, switches out to the AWP. That's another AWP in play now for Endpoint as they start to back off. Snods is there. Max with a frag, though, doing work right now as he connects that. Spark can peek out as well, beating down Connor as he finds the frag through, leaving just Reason and Boaster to try and tear it back. But look at the time, 4 seconds has passed. They can't win this one. If one CT stays alive here to take it down, but they don't even need to at that point, Snods goes on, finds a double kill. Easy pickings as they beat their way through. Money broken for Imperial as well. Endpoint back in the driving seat. Double setup has been scavenged once more as well.
As much as I'm all for giving credit to Endpoint there, I always feel like that was a very almost matchmaking level play for Imperial. Yeah. Crucial, like, I hate knocking on individual players there, but I don't understand what this whole idea was just to peek face first with an AWP like that. With no support all from his teammates either. No flashes, no smokes, he just peeked dry.
Well, he went for sort of the contact play. Basically was trying to get the opener onto the site first, then I assume they would have flooded their way in, right? Because they blocked off all the lines of sight. Crucial couldn't really be seen. He just wanted to try and find out opening frag, but it didn't go that way, and then just peeks again on his lonesome as he takes the fight towards Max. That's the point kind of where you need to commit if you're going to go for it. Because they were committing to the site anyway, their new time was taken away. That's when they should have pushed and tried to help him, but instead they just sort of let the kill go their way, then peeked one by one. Yeah.
And it was awkward from there, really. Just once he falls, then it's already pretty much a done deal. They just ran out of time, they start to panic. I'm pretty sure comms must have been a mess, and it leads us down to this bleak situation where nothing. Reason well played, nice little shot. Jacob went for the Tech 9, keeping it pretty much neck and neck. Snods with the ult will start to edge things out ahead though. Snods finds just another with the CZ on towards Jacob. Crucial to do it all, but that's a wallbang and a half, just catching him right around the edge of the cardboard box. Yes, full circle, back down to a 1 versus 2. Crucial ready to get this bomb plant down. No one can deny this. Instead, Endpoint, their game plan here is just to play either side, get themselves that mirror image. They can attack them both at the same time. That's good, and that is going to be the case. Money Max with the USP to close things out.
Unfortunate that, obviously. Crucial will be executed by Max. Brings it back into a 6-6 scoreline. Now, obviously, they do have the additional funds that will help them out. They can get that buyback through, but still, losing 4 members into a round, it does hurt the economy very, very hard. So, basically, have to burn all of their funds into this one to try and get out an efficient buy. Also, they don't have the double AWP in play anymore. They only have the one that they scavenged. Max will pass that over towards Snods, as you'd expect. Luckily, Imperial have done the same. They have no money to play with, so this is most likely going to be an easy round for Endpoint.
Smart point to throw the frag grenade down towards Banana. Ever so deep and ever so rewarding as Connor just going to get dropped down to 18 HP off the back of that decision. Imperial, they're not even going to touch it now. They've realized that's probably just a bad plan overall, so instead they're going to try and just excavate their way through short, and from there they'll look for that bomb plant. Could try and do a bit of a wraparound towards long. 2 very distinct avenues of attack with, at the end of the day, the same goal in mind. They can catch off Snods, that'd be good, but Snods just wants to line them up and knock him down. Finds 1, make that 2. Can he go for a 3rd at this point? Is Imi supporting him, just making sure they can't quite overwhelm him. Sorry, just finished him up with the USP. Pistols, a big part of Endpoint's play.
Yeah. Obviously, they do have a lot of talented players when it comes down to those pistols, and you need to be stepped up with that. Like, SDR and Snods could do so much work individually. Max as well, huge. I mean, even Imi can step up from time to time. Sparker, he's kind of just overall a very crisp player now. Obviously, he fits into the lineup because he is just a meat machine, right? You can just sort of station him somewhere and he'll just do damage, but we still need to see more of him, obviously. He's been looking good, though. Been absolutely on fire so far into this matchup. Meanwhile, on Imperial, though, Dubai comes back through all of a sudden, so they need to try and really step it up once again, right? You look at it, a 7-6 scoreline. So much potential for them to lock this down, rip their way through, get themselves like a 9-6 that can be dominant. But Imperial want to try and counteract that. They get the opening frag as well. Snods forced to reposition, gets executed. Imi just peeks in towards Jacob as well. It looks like he just walks in there blindly, gets taken down, leaves on a 3 versus 3. This is awkward.
This is awkward. It's tough to watch, but then today it's working. Imperial, they're taking full advantage of this and utilizing it to get themselves just another on the board as Boaster eats 2 players alive on that site hold, leaving it all down towards Sparker as he peeks now. Finds another drive-by on towards Boaster to finally end his days, but instant Molotov in response. means that, well, that's going to be just completely cut off. Now there is no push to come in from that side. He has a choice. Be patient, wait for that Molotov to fade and then push, or try and do a wraparound. Decides, you know what, I'm just going to wait. Then he's got just Crucial. AWP already scoped in, already completely aware of where he's more likely to be coming from. And that's just a simple frag for him. It leads us to 7-7. Inferno has been so close today. It really feels like it's just trade between mistakes from either side. We saw it in every single map of Inferno we witnessed. It seems to be just a telling tale, CT side especially.
It's true. Oh, the opener nearly Crucial there. That's kind of awkward, doesn't connect the opening shot. This round could have been so easily locked down straight away if he actually found that frag, because Snods is really important for this arch control. You need him to try and lock things down. Him and SEO are vital at actually being able to step things back in this mid control, especially how they've actually changed things around now with Imbi playing close towards apps. SEO no longer having to be dedicated towards pit. He can just lurk over close by quad or here by site as well to try and find the kills. Very different sort of scenario. Crucial. Going for the contact phase though, clearing his way through. Don't find anything just yet. Snod's still alive. We're repositioning around. Crucial out of his teammates now. Seem like they're going to flash through, push through the smoke. SEO needs to go big. Crucial in the elevated angle as well. Oh, didn't quite spot him out, I don't think, just as he backed off, but it's good timing.
Crucial. Getting himself just up on top of quad now. Playing elevated. I like this. Booster. Maybe the first point of contact with the rifle. Wins up against Snods. Max already just dead set to go with this SMG. Just for sure.
SEO elevated angle in place. They start to cut their way through. Frag after frag going his way right now as he actually picks up the 2K. He finds another frag onto his Crucial. It would have been huge, but does not go how he wanted it to, leaving Sparker left in a 1 versus 2. He's been in these situations multiple times, attempting to retake the A bomb site. Is this going to be the one he actually picks up, though? Unfortunately, now he does get killed.
I feel like a lot of these rounds towards the end sort of segment have been very drawn out, and it's been almost tough for both of these teams to play it, depending on which side of the coin they're on. Whether they're in the advantage, they're happy with it, right? It favors them. But when they're at the disadvantage, it just leaves them with really no avenue left to explore. Also worth highlighting, the amount of time Sparker has been left in 1 versus 2s and 1v3s.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward. Obviously, last man left alive in those sort of scenarios has to peek in. And it's always so unwinnable as well, because the afterplants are just so effective. You have no reason to peek on a map like Inferno in those sort of positions, because you're not going to be able to do anything. Oh, this is really aggressive as well. Look at this early backstab coming down. So much information. They know it's a B committal, so they can just hold clear, peek at the same time, but it doesn't matter. Imi actually gets 2 massive openers. That is crazy. They just need to be aware of banana control now. Snods finds the kill back on towards Boaster.
Didn't quite check the corners. Boaster was able to sneak in one. Crucial starting to do some work for banana as well as he picks up just another. But Imi so crisp as he punishes Jacob. Crucial still swinging, but Imi is just going to annihilate him. Imi, the tactician, doing it all in this round.
Favorite weapon in nades. Favorite weapon nades there, obviously, Imi. A fantastic little video that came out. But yeah, it looked on point. I mean, that's good to see. You need Imi sort of leading by example at that point as he finds those kills. Looks good. Plays good.
Motivates the troops also. You said it kind of almost right off the back of that first pistol. And it's worth saying again now. It's really kind of a repeating statement. Getting a pistol in that sort of fashion with a big, almost flare-based play, it gets everyone hyped.
That's what it is.
Endpoint are a team who also like to get pretty verbal.
It's true, you need to try and get everyone behind you, especially with the changes in the lineup now as well, to try and make everyone feel very comfortable with things. Like, you need everyone to be on point. You need everyone to be taking over, not just sort of sitting there just like, yeah, okay, we got the round. Everyone needs to be very riled up. And that's when they're going to perform better as well, when people are happy and actually in that good mindset. Meanwhile, for Imperial, though, getting punished like that, it's really going to knock them down a peg. You know, they're not going to be too happy off the back of that round. Trying to play this crossfire as well, the entry towards B. They peek out, though. Jacob does take down SEO. They can scavenge that weapon if they want to try and dare to go for it. But the teams are there, pushing through now, flipping towards the bomb site. Jacob so close to getting the follow-up frag, but it was not meant to be, as Mighty Max does actually take him down. Snod through the smoke, though. Executed by Boaster at this point. Max just rattling off shots all over the place, trying to force it back.
Getting real tough now. Just look at the HP at Endpoint. They're so low. Crucial coming right in from behind, sliding up. And Sparker gets a second on towards Imi. It's all on Max. He's just overwhelmed by simple maths alone. Imperial, they come straight back. They were feeling down. Now they're on top of the world.
That's a great round coming through. Obviously very smart. Crucial with a slow backstab. A lot of that did rely quite heavily on him, but Jacob did a good job of slowing them down. Not only did he get the opening frag on the board, he also was able to do so much damage that just left Endpoint really weakened. Didn't have much sustain left when it got into that really last-minute situation. So even though they had sort of manpower to work with, they were just so broken, sort of structurally wise. So they got taken down. Obviously this time around as well, the AWP does come out. It is going to be on crucial. The rest of the CTs still have these SMGs, only 2 rifles in play. Early information play does actually come out from Imperial, but they don't get too much from it before they're forced to fall back.
Emmy, just trying to work out how to throw a flash grenade there. It was a bit of a struggle, but he got through it in the end. Get caught off guard by him. He does eventually kind of redeem himself with an instantaneous Tech 9 response, as you just decide to go ever so aggressive, but in a very calculated way, very the Endpoint way in effect. He's going to hold tight, but his back is turned. He has no idea what's going on. Crucial, sneaking towards Pit. Talk about this Pit presence when you're not really holding out too tightly. It's good, but it's not that good. Imi doing so much again in this round, just combining with the rifle, aided by his own Molotov. Bomb going to go down. Imperial with really no option at all in this.
Reason just going to back off. As you said, obviously just going to go for the save. I mean, what can he really achieve anyway if he actually goes for this? You know, I mean, you do some damage to Endpoint, sure, but these weapons are just scavenged anyway. It's not really going to affect them that heavily. Working their way through, obviously you get the buy as well. They're going to be able to get that cash flowing into the next round no matter what happens. It's just not really worth it. They can't really hunt efficiently though. So obviously Reason basically just trying to find somewhere to stay alive. If they exit through mid, I mean, he might do something, but that's most likely it.
Fun point for you. Look back to all our Inferno matches today. Look back to UKCSGO. Practically every single match goes neck and neck like this. We find ourselves just stuck in these tug of wars. That seems to be kind of the phrase we've deemed them by. And it is just that. Both of these teams trying to pull it their own direction, trying to elevate the scoreline. And we keep seeing so many of these 1-for-1 affairs, and it's always happening on Inferno.
It's weird, and obviously you've got to wonder, is it because they haven't had enough time to get complete structure down? Obviously, in terms of strategy as well, we haven't really seen too much initiative from either side on either half. It's only been sort of classic strats that have been pulled out, or just split and pick. You know, we've seen a couple of moments of basically good positional play coming out from Endpoint, more so on the CT half. A lot of roaming, you know, good positions that we utilize like that. Into this one though, all out aggression, you just send SEO in basically as a suicide man to charge his way in towards the A bomb site, hoping to towards B, sorry, to try and do something. But it doesn't work out. He does get punished early. Now you're forced to fall back. Interestingly, you know, they went for that so early on.
Yeah, very ballsy play, and one that, you know, at a 9-9 scoreline, you'd always argue, is it really worth it? Sure, if it works out for you, it's a round on the board practically. Is it all just a bit of a domino effect in your favor? But they're stuck in the polar opposite. They're stuck in a situation where it didn't work. Now, that one man disadvantage is going to be stuck up on their minds. Snods looking for that pick with the AWP, but nothing is going to be granted. Boaster starting to get ever so close. If he peeks it, that's a frag for Snods, almost guaranteed. That's going to be the case. Boaster does find the AWP. From there, Max will try and just force him back, but these are looking so good for this CT side now. Endpoint. I'd be surprised if they can even get on towards the site.
Yeah, that's the thing. 3 versus 5 like this, they need to go huge if they're going to do anything. Imi donning the AWP once again. It's been a little bit of time since we last saw the weapon in his hand, but he's proven that he can still wield it. Unfortunately, all of his teammates get executed all the way around him. He will switch out to the Tech 9 though, does damage, will take down Boaster, grabs the bomb now as well. 15 seconds left to play with, will be able to get it planted. A 1 versus 2 situation, one player stationed over towards Library. He is aware that he's cleared out Pit and stuff. He knows that there is no one close by. So he's going to actually try and take the fight here. Had to get into a better position as he goes over. Seems like he will commit to just sticking in Pit. So risky the amount of time he was in the wide open there as well as he went for that reposition. But it will pay off at this point. You tuck yourself in towards Pit. Wait for the peak to come through. Goes for the pot shot to draw out the face. But unfortunately, Reason peaks just after. As he tried to reposition, expected the push coming through from the Library sooner than later, and eventually goes down. That is unfortunate as well.
He had all the right ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knew exactly where these players were, at least from what he predicted, and he was a complete 100% right. He was on the ball. But he didn't get the money ball, which is what counts. And that's where it fell apart. It's a round now for Imperial to get themselves up on the lead. They're the ones with the open play. We can get to see some of that crucial magic yet again. That finesse. For Endpoint, it's going to get a bit sour. They have to go for this trio of SMGs. These UMPs, in fact. It's tough play, but I also feel like Endpoint, maybe promoting aggressiveness on this T-side could actually be something that saves them. Because they're being so slow, trying to calculate things so much, that perhaps that's also something that hurts them when they're up against Imperial. Then today, Imperial, They're a team who don't have much experience on this map on that CT side. Aggression is certainly a way that you can try and exploit that. You just got to find that vulnerability.
Flashbangs go over now as they execute their way back towards the A-bomb site, but it's an absolute waterfall of frags going the way of Boaster. Easy kills come through. Sparker and SEO traded out almost immediately. Immy going down as well. This is awkward. Max trying to find the kill on the CT, tucked in over towards Sandpit. One man in pit as well. Flashbangs come through, but luckily enough, Snods with the AK in his hands will find the frag back on towards Crucial. Max taking the fight now over towards pit, but gets dinked down so low. This is really awkward. Connor can still try and take the fight as well. Tears his way through Snods. Luckily, this gave Max a window to strike as he did take him down with a headshot. Leaves himself in a 1 versus 2, but this round should essentially be as good as done at this point. You can't imagine Max will be able to bring too much to the table here. Does boost himself up. Trying to reposition now as well, but it's just going to be so awkward.
Quick backstab comes in from Reason, just comes in over from apartments, and awkward is the perfect way to describe it. But there's one thing I want to pick away from that round. It's the phrase execute. Was that really an execute? It was a 5-man push-out perhaps.
Yeah.
That's not an execute. That's just very, very ballsy. It's effectively almost similar to when you look at Train, rush B. Something like, or a quick Ivy push. It's that sort of off-the-cuff play. But I always argue that's the sort of plays that can lose you rounds and lose you games.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, the reason behind it obviously is as well is they went for those flashbangs over. You go for the smoke as well. You expect you might be able to achieve something. I mean, into this one it's just an eco anyway, so we kind of knew Imperial would just lock this down. So not too much really going on here. You guys aren't really missing anything in this round. But I mean, that's the thing. You flash over. They have the smoke as well, I think. You flash that over through the little opening apartments. That lands over by pits. They're blind. You can then try and treacle out, and you hope you overpower the opposition. The thing is, Boaster and the angle he was playing from, the flashbang doesn't affect him anyway. So you're just basically peeking one by one with like, you know, a couple of milliseconds behind each of you. So you peek out, Boaster kills one, then the second peek comes through. There was never any point where they were both peeking, where there was 2 men in a situation where they could actually shoot at Boaster at that point.
Problem is as well, is if Boaster's got that clear kind of precise vision, he could be making all the calls to his teammates so they know where to fire. Even if they're blind, they can still let rip with a trigger. For now, Endpoint, they're going to have to suck up. 12-9, starting to lose control of things. They need to up their game now for Imperial eke it out to 13, potentially even 14, and from there, things are looking like we are going to be forced over to our third. So this is just going to be a bit of a patience game at this point. Not quite wanting to do a face on the Imperial side. As Endpoint have been gifted with a lot of control.
Immy just being toyed with right now over towards apartments as they pick their way through. Boiler trying to hope they can actually draw him out, I believe. So if he takes the fight through on his lonesome, they'll take him down very easily. Won't be falling for that old bait and switch though. Does back off. His teammates doing a good job of actually tiptoeing their way up towards B as well. He's keeping everyone busy at A. There has been a mass rotation to site SEO as well. This time around, the initial peak on his lonesome pays off, but Jacob still burns him to a crisp. Reason also finds one as well before Snods can trade it back. Leaves him in a 3 versus 3, but look at the health disadvantage.
Yeah, the health disadvantage is going to be such a pertinent point now for Endpoint. They're really going to struggle here. Already a frag grenade to take it even further. Sparker just 3 HP as it lands, just right as beat a second one to roll it out. That'll be enough to force that frag as Boaster man to throw it. That bomb is going to tick on away. The CT side are ready for it. Maybe. Gonna try. But that is literally it. It's just a back and forth affair. Where for the most part, when you look at Imperial coming in that sort of way, it's always going to be a round that swings their way after they realize just how low these players are. If they're coming correctly, they know what's up.
That's the thing. When Imperial are left in a good situation where they have an effective buyout, they can play calm. They're good. When they have to make these rash judgment calls, when they're left in, you know, kind of awkward situations, that's when everything goes wrong for them. That's when they start to let it slip and actually shut down in a lot of these rounds. So obviously, coming into this final sort of, you know, weird eco buy once again, obviously, for Endpoint, they need to try and pull something back. They let this one slip. Imperial get themselves 14 rounds on the board. They're going to be trucking their way through, 1 round away from match point, where Endpoint at that point, it's just going to be too far gone.
Crucial, so aggressive there, but it doesn't get punished at all. Not a single shot was fired at him. Very, very surprising stuff. Boaster trying to let rip through the smoke as well, just adding a bit more into the round. These Tech 9s really got to try and make something work here. You're at the phase where just try and throw something against the wall and see what sticks. See if it works out for you. charge full with the Tech 9 for sure. That gives you frags, make that 2 frags. Yet to see a single loss. Crucial is going to step up with the AWP, finds a second, looks for a third. Sparker is going to secure the trade and gains, most importantly, the AWP. This is a huge part of the round as it denies any sort of push coming in from Library. And from Long, I mean, it's all on short for now.
Jacob here, waiting for these peaks to come through as he gets ready for the right time to take his strike over towards pit. He knows there's a player there now, but he isn't aware of the double pit setup they actually have in place. So Jacob, as he tiptoes his way through, could potentially be overpowered. Realizes they execute. Now they peek through. Jacob, unfortunately, get taken down in the end by Snods, though. And Endpoint get a very critical round on the board. They needed it. They are able to lock it down. 10-13 will be the scoreline, but obviously there is still cash flow on either side at this point.
Very, very tough, and I feel like one of the problems for Endpoint is they've lost this early pick potential they had. You know, one of the things we saw in the first half, we saw this insane KD coming from slots, for example. He was able to apply so much pressure. But it wasn't just him, it was the team in itself.
Yep.
They kind of lost that, though. They lost that charm. They've got to find it. They've got to really scramble and see where it was. This round, just dealing with pistols. Nothing really kind of read into. Yet again, just find yourself not missing too much. Boaster does actually try and draw our attention back in by the idea of getting a double kill. But even then, it should just be fairly done and dusted. As Ezio is going to sneak up, picks up the bomb. From there, should go back towards his teammates. Not really allowing Connor. Yep, that's going to be the case. Looks like a fair bit of damage on towards Ezio, but it's at the end of the day, not quite the end of the world. Boaster peeks out, just a little too late.
Yeah, the timing there was very critical. Boaster, that could have been a huge backstab if he was able to pull it off in the right timing, but obviously they slipped their way through now. They were aware he was the last man left standing, so why wouldn't they just go for the fast committal towards the A bomb site, even lock it down. Just leave Boaster as last man left standing. He's going to leave that door open. How rude.
Gotta shut that door, man. It's disrespectful, Boaster. Either way, searching for some chickens. That's going to be pretty much the point for him in this round, just knifing up the walls. Bomb is going to tick on away, and it's Endpoint bringing it back, which is something we have to credit towards. This gap is so thin between these two teams. But it's all going to come down to one buy, pretty much, right? That one buy, in the literal sense, will make or break the game for them. They lose that buy, Imperial, they move up to 14, and from there, it's pretty much game, set, point. They win that buy, you could be looking at them equalize, and kind of similar sort of affair for them, right? So it's very, very important that they try and come up with that fresh play now. If they leave it for a few couple of rounds, trying to come up with a pause or something, it's almost too late. Aggression as well. Just a really point you got to hammer home about. When they play with the Tech 9s, for example, the reason that worked so well and was so crystal clear was the idea that Imperial didn't expect it.
Yeah.
When they play slow, Imperial go, you know what, you're just filling into our textbook that we've already got written all the information down about you.
It's true, that's the thing. When they try and go for this more shock and awe style of CS, they do catch them off guard. They don't really have an answer to it. It's a lot more sort of in your face, hit you with it hard, don't give you a chance to reset and lock things down. This time around as well, Crucial will kick it off. He actually finds the frag back towards Sparker. There's the follow-up as well. Does execute Mighty Max. Looking good so far as they do start to dispatch the opposition. Reason, meanwhile, will just tiptoe around. Flashbang goes over for Crucial. Ezio down on the trigger, but nothing will go his way just yet. It's very awkward this time around for Endpoint. Obviously, Snods, they're just pushing him, toying with him right now. They're going 360s.
Just went for a 360. Yeah. That's actually insanity right there. And then Crucial just so confident that he goes for a 360 no-scope. Didn't know we were casting Call of Duty World League, to say the least.
I mean, I don't really know what to say, to be honest, right now. It's just awkward. They worked their way through, obviously, Imperial. 14 rounds on the board. Endpoint, no real answer. I mean, Endpoint was sort of the team that I've seen actually play a bit of Inferno, and they looked okay on it, but right now they're struggling.
Quick question for you as well. If someone just decides to whip out a 360 no-scope, that's got to tilt you.
Oh, yeah.
That's got to play on your mind, surely.
Yeah, that'll get to you. That's a knee slapper.
Yeah. Endpoint, still a shot to get on towards B, but Jacob is just going to pin this one down. It's a double up CT side setup. It's becoming standard Inferno right now. When we see this come out, it is just an onslaught of rounds over and over again, and it's the same narrative here for Imperial. On 14 right now, looking for their 15th, just 3 frags to deny them. Reason with the M4 is very grouped up. Jacob still waiting. Smoke acting as the perfect cover and point. A flash to go on as well, just to greet them even further. There's Endpoint trying. Oh. Okay. This is new. Good match, guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's quite good.
That was good.
Great game.
April Fools, everyone.
That was all a joke all along. The game's live. We're back. It's 0-0, but that's not actually the score. But
So what was the scoreline?
it's gone. It's escaped from me. The score is on the right.
Oh, there it is. Huge. That's smart.
Easy. Loving
Enjoy
that.
updating that every round.
He's going to love it. But 14-11, as we said, Imperial just need the 2 rounds. They got a double up setup. They got 3 rifles. They got all the utility. It's a little bit heated, a little bit beefy, because it's about to kick off.
It's true, double up setup in play could be dominant, but second mid-aggression has been brought to play. They try and tiptoe their way through. Crucial goes for the initial apps peak, but doesn't spot anything out before he does back off. Endpoint now as well, going to try and take that map control. Slowly brush their way through, getting ready for this explosion up on towards the A side. Obviously, the 5 rifles there is going to complement them into this round. They can try and go a little bit more aggressive as they burst their way through. Let's wait and see how this one will go down.
It's going to be a bit of a slow burning push. The AWP just waiting. He misses, as you say, and that's going to really spell disaster now as the information is up the jig. Well aware, as Crucial going to hop around the flame, somewhat flashing himself off, falling back now. A bit more of a safer affair, and Endpoint not biting off the back of it either. Now this sets up for Jacob. Look at this angle. This is different. They're not going to expect this. This is where Jacob runs right now. Flash is going to go off, but that's so preemptive. Jacob, premature.
That's not good. It's not what you want. See a doctor about that. Falls back, unfortunately. Obviously, cannot do too much. As now the push starts to come through. It will be that towards that A bomb site. All-out aggression. Annihilation is going to be on everyone's mind. Crucial. A second huge miss comes out. This is not good so far. Endpoint being able to take so much map control. Crucial in an awkward angle as well. Will eventually find one frag on towards Snods. Immy also goes down now. Connor with another frag of the round. Mighty Max can do damage as he fire backs. Will execute Boaster as he slips his way on towards the bomb site. He's the last man left standing. Trying to get the bomb plant, but it was not meant to be. 15 rounds on the board for Imperial.
Needing just the one more now to force us to, you guessed it. Not that map.
Cobblestone.
We got a cobblestone, boys. It's going to be a good one. Endpoint, not necessarily a long way for them to go, but it's going to be a difficult task. And that's something that has to be mentioned right now.
Especially with the buy they have going into this potentially penultimate round as well. It's not good, right? You've got 3 SMGs there, 1 Galil on Immy as well. That's kind of awkward.
Fun
the
stuff.
IDF defender.
Going to be so tough already. Jacob missing a few shots. It's been some dysfunctional play with his AWPs. But at the end of the day, the rifles right now are pulling through for Imperial. They need just a 1 round. Already being placed in a box. This is a first pick. Dead set in motion as Boaster just waltzes through apps, gets an easy frag on towards Immy, and from there, Endpoint are forced to hit towards B. They're going to push right through a smoke and a flash. Reason going to pick off the head of Max, and this is looking simple. Done and dusted. A Molotov to drop. Endpoint, we got a cobblestone.
Reason takes down Sparker, as you said. Most likely we'll be finding our way over to the 3rd map of the series. Ezio will eventually be taken down from the back of Connor. Snods will be the last man to fall from Crucial. There you have it, 16 rounds on the board. That is a 16-11 scoreline. Cobblestone will be the 3rd and final map of the series.